Right, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is absolutely mental. In 1982, Argentina invaded a tiny cluster of islands in the South Atlantic, thinking they'd pull off the military victory of the century. 74 days later, they'd lost everything. Their military was humiliated, their government collapsed, and Britain, who was 8,000 miles away, had reclaimed the Falklands in what can only be described as one of the most spectacular military failures of the 20th century. So why did it all go so catastrophically wrong? Stay with me because this story is wild. Now here's the thing, when Argentina's military junta invaded the Falklands on April 2nd, 1982, they genuinely believed Britain wouldn't fight back. They thought Margaret Thatcher would negotiate, wave the white flag, accept the loss. Wrong. What they didn't count on was that Thatcher was absolutely ruthless when it came to defending British territory. Within days, she'd assembled a naval task force, we're talking aircraft carriers, destroyers, submarines, the works, and sent them hurtling toward the South Atlantic. But Argentina's problems started long before the British fleet arrived. The invasion itself was rushed, poorly planned, and based on catastrophic miscalculations. Argentine commanders assumed America would stay neutral or even support them. They didn't. They assumed the British military was overstretched and wouldn't respond. Massively wrong. And perhaps most critically, they assumed their own forces were ready for a full-scale war. They absolutely were not. Here's where it gets even worse. Argentina's military was designed for internal repression, not modern warfare. Their army was filled with young, poorly trained conscripts, some barely 18 years old, who were thrust into freezing conditions without proper equipment, food, or leadership. Officers hoarded supplies while their soldiers starved. Morale collapsed fast. Meanwhile, their navy, after the British submarine HMS Conqueror torpedoed the Argentine cruiser General Belgrano on May 2nd, killing 323 sailors, the entire Argentine navy retreated to port and never engaged again. Their air force performed brilliantly, sinking several British ships with French-made Exocet missiles, but they couldn't sustain operations or protect ground forces. And then there's the geographic nightmare. The Falklands are 400 miles from the Argentine mainland, but 8,000 miles from Britain. Yet Britain still managed superior logistics. Argentine supply lines crumbled. Their soldiers dug into positions around Stanley with outdated equipment, while elite British forces, Paras, Royal Marines, Gurkhas, systematically dismantled their defenses in brutal night battles. By June 14th, it was over. Argentine forces surrendered, Britain reclaimed the islands, General Galtieri's junta collapsed within days, discredited and humiliated. So why did Argentina lose? Arrogance, poor planning, inadequate training, logistical collapse, and a catastrophic underestimation of British resolve. They thought they could take the islands and the world would accept it. Instead, they learned a brutal lesson. In modern warfare, confidence without capability is a recipe for disaster.